As you board, please move across your car to make room for everyone, and kindly offer available seating to those needing special assistance. If you're standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors. They will be closing in a moment. Thank you.
Hey, howdy, hey, and welcome to another episode of Disney Assembled. I'm Troy.
And I'm Mimi.
And we are your happy little father-daughter podcast, here to create joy and share our love for all things Disney.
Disney Assembled is sponsored by our patrons over on Patreon, Brenda, Danny, Connie, and Andrew.
Yes, thank you so very much, guys. We really appreciate you supporting the show. If you would like to join them and some of our other patrons by becoming a member of our Patreon family, head on over to our website, DisneyAssembled.com. Click on the Become a Patron button there. Membership starts as little as $2 a month. You get access to all of our exclusive patron-only content just by doing that. And of course, if that is not your thing and you're not interested in a membership, that's perfectly fine. Share the show with your friends. You know, if you're online or social media, share Disney Assembled out there with your friends and family. And if you're able to, if you're listening to the show and you're able to leave a rating and review, we'd really appreciate a kind rating review, especially if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Those would be great. Of course, if you're looking for additional Disney magic for your day and for your week, for your life in general, you may want to check out Magic and the Mouse Radio. Magic and the Mouse Radio is a wonderful place for Disney music and content 24/7, 365. This show, Disney Assembled, is very proud to be part of the Magic and the Mouse Radio family, where you can hear this show every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern.
In addition to being part of the Magic and the Mouse Radio Network, I'm also very proud to be part of the Magic and the Mouse News Network. MagicandtheMouseNews.com has posts and articles for all kinds of things Disney that you might ever want to read. So make sure to go check out MagicandtheMouseNews.com.
Yeah, you should do that. All right. We have a topic this week, and we have a couple things. You know, we'll do our normal, we'll do our Disney Dad Joke of the Week, of course, giving people a preview of what to expect. We're going to bring back an old favorite, from our listeners. We haven't done this in a while. We're going to do our Park Snooze with Mimi. We haven't done that in a while. We're also recording this episode on Saturday, April 22nd, 2023. It's the 25th anniversary of Disney's Animal Kingdom. So congratulations. Happy birthday.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. I'm going to see Taylor Swift tonight.
Okay. So when we finish this, Mimi will be swiftly changing into her outfits to be ready to go to the concert.
I'm going to see Taylor Swift, you guys. This is such a big day.
Yeah. So Animal Kingdom anniversary today. I'm sure we'll hear some more about that. We'll do our Smart Park Snooze with Mimi, Disney Dad Joke of the Week. And of course, we'll get into our main topic of the week, which is
places we get lost.
Okay. So we were sitting around thinking, we just, about our park trips and so forth. And we're very lucky. We've been able to go to Disney parks more often than the average person, right? I mean, right. Most people, the truth is we've been a few times, and a lot of people just go maybe once, right?
Right.
And if you're not looking at a map or if you're not following on your phone, there are some places at Disney World in Florida that can be confusing to navigate. And so, Let's Get Lost or Lost Boys or some kind of Lost reference there. But this is the Lost episode. This is the episode where we go through the places that that have been in the past. And some of them to this day are still a little confusing for us to navigate. Really? Or where were we? So those lost places.
Before we get into that, though, where did you lose me when I was 6 years old?
I lost you in Tomorrowland Terrace Restaurant, I believe it was. I don't think it may have been Cosmic Rays. It was one of those restaurants like that. And you wandered off while I was feeding your brother, and you got lost. So, restaurant, big restaurant, but cast members were there. And
big restaurant, tiny person.
Before we get into that, we just should also mention that if you go online and you do a search for Lost in Disney World, there's a lot of articles about what happens when children get lost. And I think we just mentioned here on the show that one of the ways that Disney cast members help in this situation is they assure the child that they are not lost. Their parents are lost. Right. So it's the lost parents at Disney World, not lost children. Children never get lost at Disney World. the parents are the ones that get lost. So kudos for them for using that language and that mentality around those situations, because it can be very stressful. And it's all good. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about locations.
Yeah.
That can be confusing to navigate around.
But not for us, because we're Disney experts.
That's true. Well, I don't want to say we're experts, but we're probably more knowledgeable than most, right?
Yeah,
but
I mean, some of these places still confuse me.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that here in just a few moments. All right, do you want to do Park Snooze first, or do you want to do the Disney Dad Joke
Let's
of the
do
week?
Park Snooze.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand, we're going to do Park Snooze with Mimi. All right, the way this works, I'm again on blogmickey.com. So these headlines come directly from blogmickey.com. And again, April 22nd, 2023, I read a headline to Mimi and she decides whether it's news or snooze, whether it's interesting or not in her mind, right? Mm-hmm. Play along with us. See if you agree. We may have more than 5 though. Usually we do 5. We may have more because a lot of these deal with the 25th anniversary of Animal Kingdom. So
can you just lump that all together unless it's actually different?
I can try.
Okay.
I don't know. It might be a tad bit difficult. All right. Okay. So I'll try to lump everything in. So these are some of the headlines on blogmickey.com related to the Animal Kingdom's 25th anniversary. All right. So here are all the headlines. 25 facts for 25 years of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom 25th anniversary commemorative map. Ooh, commemorative map. Ooh, paper map. Ooh, okay. Tree of Life stage installed for Animal Kingdom 25th anniversary ceremony, which of course was this morning.
Right.
That headline I think was from a day or so ago. And Pumbaa popcorn bucket announced for Disney's Animal Kingdom. Again, preview of exclusive Animal Kingdom 25th anniversary merch. And
that's all that's really special about it.
I mean, there's some other things, but we probably should have taken these a little bit more one at a time, but why don't we do the first 2? Well, here, let's just do the first 2 together. 25 facts for 25 years of Disney's Animal Kingdom and the Animal Kingdom 25th anniversary commemorative map. News or snooze?
I think it's news that it's been open for 25 years. I think it's getting old, the celebration of an anniversary every 2 years, every 6 months. I think that's getting old. But, it's cool. The map is whatever to me. I don't collect maps. My brother does. But the anniversary itself is interesting. So news.
Right. There you go. News. I'm a little shocked. All right. There we go. 1 news. Next headline. This is a rumor. So I don't know if it's news. It's a rumor, but it could be news. Rumor. Rockin' roller coaster starring Aerosmith to reopen in early July at Hollywood Studios. News or snooze?
Snooze. I don't care about this. Also, it's a rumor. So there's not that much credibility to it, so I don't think I'm all in.
It's probably more news when it's confirmed.
Yeah,
right?
Probably.
So, yeah. Okay, so 1 news and 1 snooze. All right, next one is an Animal Kingdom one. We read it at the beginning, but I'll read it again. Get your thoughts. Tree of Life stage installed for Animal Kingdom 25th anniversary ceremony.
Snooze. This is not news. We knew this was going to happen. We knew something was going to appear for the celebration. Snooze. Yeah.
Right. So we have 2 snooze and 1 news.
Yeah.
Next headline, leaving Animal Kingdom behind, going somewhere else. Another harmonious barge removed from World Showcase Lagoon as demolition continues backstage at Epcot.
News. This is so sad. I miss Harmonious.
We love the show. We didn't love the barges.
Well, it's not that I don't even hate the barges. How often realistically do you walk to the edge of the water and look across and think, wow, this is so cool. What are you're not actually doing that, you guys. I'm sorry to call you out. I guess if you wanted to, it
gets in the way. Not loving the barges doesn't mean you hate them, right?
Yeah.
You could be agnostic about the barges.
I think that's how I feel. I'm neutral about them. Obviously they are ugly during the day, but I think Harmonious is such a good show that it's worth it. It's worth to have them there. But I don't know. If there was a way to move them in and out between night and day,
right?
I would be all that, but that's very expensive and that's probably very loud. That's probably going to be more disruptive than having the barges just sit there all day,
Right. Well, the point is moot because they've already removed them. So It is what it is. All right. I'm going to lump the next 2 together. We're going to do more than 5 today because there's a couple of things here I want you to get your opinion on. All right. Next 2 I'm going to lump together. I think I mentioned them earlier. Pumbaa popcorn bucket announced for Disney's Animal Kingdom and a preview of exclusive Animal Kingdom 25th Anniversary Day of merch.
Snooze. I don't really care too much about this.
Not care
Popcorn
about
buckets are not something that I collect, so I don't follow their news. I don't care too much about them. And then merch is
merch
okay.
is merch.
Yeah, like okay.
All right, let's get another one in here. How about this one? This is Magic Kingdom news.
Okay.
New characters coming to Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade in 2023.
Okay, news. Very exciting. This is interesting. I like when new characters are brought in. I like when old characters are brought in. The throwback night at Disneyland was a few days ago. That was really cool. All the videos and pictures that came out of there.
I
like
did see that. Yeah,
Mr. Tom Morrow. I want to meet Mr. Tom Morrow.
Right. And the family from Carousel of Progress.
Well, no, they're kind of weird. I don't like their energy. I don't trust them.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But Mr.
Right.
Tom Morrow and Dumbo and the three fairy godmothers.
Right.
I guess they're not godmothers. Flora, Fauna, Merryweather. Very cool. Anyway,
Cool.
yeah.
Right.
I'm in on the new characters.
Awesome. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Moana area background music debuts at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
This is interesting because there's a lot of moving parts with this. So there was that blue sky idea to bring Moana to Animal Kingdom, and we know for a fact that her character is coming to meet and greets in Animal Kingdom, which is what is exciting, right? And what makes sense about having her music. You know, if she's going to be there, why not play her music? But they did just they're about to open a Moana attraction in Epcot. So why are we bringing Moana? Why are we putting this effort into putting Moana into Animal Kingdom if we're really putting her into Epcot?
The Moanas are in Animal Kingdom. Moana's coming to Epcot. They announced live action Moana movie. Disney's paying attention to who's streaming what on Disney Plus.
They definitely are. I'm just gonna. I think a lot of little kids are gonna find it confusing. Like, why does Moana have a ride, an attraction in Epcot, but I can only meet her in Animal Kingdom? I think that's weird.
I think she'll be in both places. I don't think little kids care. They're not paying attention. They just want to see Moana.
I think it'll be kids who are older but not quite out of the magic yet, like 9 and 10. Like, I think that could really ruin it for them. But I mean, it's interesting. It is interesting to see her coming to Animal Kingdom. I wonder if she'll get an attraction. If she does get an attraction, that would kind of make me angry. Why do we need 2 attractions for the same franchise?
Right.
That's weird.
We'll have to wait and see.
But we will see.
We don't know. All right, that's Park Snooze with Mimi. Guys, if you want to read more about any of those headlines, just head on over to blogmickey.com. You can read those there. We do not have any relationship with blogmickey.com. We just think their headlines are good and we use them for this segment. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Not really, no association, but I'm glad you use their headlines. All right.
Yes.
We need to jump in.
No, we need to do the joke.
We do need to jump into the joke. We do need to jump into our topic of the week about getting lost in Disney World. But first, it is time. It is the time that everyone waits for every week. It's the time for this week's Disney dad joke of the week. Oh boy. Mimi.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the little girl who fell asleep with her mini ears on?
Mm-mm.
It made headlines all over the place.
Okay.
Get it?
Yes.
Because the headband made lines on her head.
Yes.
So,
They do that. Yep.
Yeah. She fell
They
asleep.
certainly do that.
And she felt, you said doo-doo.
Okay. How old are you?
Too old to make those jokes. All right, guys. That's this week's Disney Dad Joke of the Week. If you have a joke you'd like us to consider using on the show, send us an email at disneyassembled@gmail.com or send us a message. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Disney Assembled.
Right.
If we haven't used a joke before and if it's appropriate for the show, we'll be happy to consider using it. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's that.
Okay, let's get started now.
All right. It can be a confusing thing going to Disney World. Lots of people get confused. It's a huge piece of property. There's lots of places to go. And it could be easy for first timers or people who aren't very familiar. It could be easy to get lost, find your way around and where are we going in this place, right?
Yes.
So we've thought about this and we've come up with 10 places from the parks and the areas around the parks that we felt can be a little bit confusing. At least they have been for us.
Yes.
And so Let's jump into it.
Go in order. Okay.
Let's jump into it.
Starting at the top of our list.
Of course, this is in order of complexity. This is an order that we thought of.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's not even organized by park. So starting at the top, we have the areas surrounding the castle in Magic Kingdom. Not Magic Kingdom itself, because it's pretty straightforward. It's just a circle.
Magic Kingdom, yeah, it's pretty easy to navigate.
But like by the castle itself, with all the different pathways and weird entrances, exits, shortcuts, those can get confusing.
Right. So to paint a picture for you, when you get to the castle area, if you go left towards Adventureland, you can enter into the official Adventureland entrance.
Right.
You go right, you can enter through the walkway into Tomorrowland. But there are other walkways that kind of go right next to the castle and around it. And you can't really see where those are going. And if you get in there and you're trying to get to Tomorrowland or you're trying to get to Adventureland or Frontierland or whatever,
you're going to be spit out in Fantasyland.
You could get turned around a little bit, right? You could be like, well, where exactly is this pathway going to? Now, these are some of my favorite places to go because they're not very heavily trafficked.
Yeah.
It's a great
all the
place.
Pictures I took in front of the castle were taken on these walkways.
Yeah. And there's, they're beautiful places and I would encourage everyone to explore them, but you could get confused if you're not on the main thoroughfares.
Yeah.
So these are some of those little off the main thoroughfare areas. Great vibe locations, right? If you're looking to get that Disney vibe, definitely a place where you might become a lost boy.
But if you're going somewhere specific, don't go that way. You'll likely get turned around.
Right. Because
everything looks so familiar. When the castle's up close, it's just so big that you really don't know where you are in relation to it.
Of course, you come out the other side, you kind of figure out where you are.
Well, yeah, because once you come out the other side, you're by the castle. No, you're by the carousel. Or the teacups, and you're right there.
Right.
But it's okay, but how did I get here?
Right. So that's the first place. If you're there, it can be a little confusing.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next one on the list?
Galaxy's Edge. I have been to Galaxy's Edge 3 or 4 times, and I still will not. If you plopped me down there in the middle of it, I would not know how to get out. Because all the signs are in that Star Wars font that's really hard to read. When we were looking for,
it's Arabesh is what it's called. Yeah.
When we were trying to find Oga's the first time we went, we were so confused. We had absolutely no idea where we were going because it's not clearly labeled in a readable font. And I understand you want to keep it in theme, but if your signage is not capable for someone who exclusively speaks English to read, I don't even want to know what it's like for your foreign guests who maybe struggle reading English or it just doesn't seem very accessible.
Right.
It's just complicated, and although the architecture is beautiful, it doesn't look the same, and it's easy to get lost.
Yeah, if you're looking for the Droid Depot or
I wouldn't be able to tell you where that is.
Doc Ondar's or Oga's, you can get confused. You think you're at Oga's, but no, you're at Doc Ondar's, right? Or if you're looking to do Savi's Workshop.
Yeah, that's not labeled at all, actually.
Right. So again, if you're using the app, you're using the map, you can find it. However, if you're just walking around, you could get, it did take me a long time walking through Galaxy's Edge to sort of figure out, yes, this is where I am. This is exactly where the other things are. It's easy to find the Millennium Falcon. It's right there in the middle.
Right.
But if you're looking for some of those other places, Docking Bay 7, the restaurant, again, it's not terribly difficult to find it, but if you haven't done it before, it can be quite confusing to figure out where you're going in Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
So that's a good one to put on the list. And man, you got to get it at night. Go to Galaxy's Edge at night. It's beautiful. Absolutely. All right. We will move now to, you have one on here from Epcot that you wanted to mention. It's a confusing place. You don't want to be a lost parent at Epcot, of course, but where is this place that you are talking about?
So it is the weird walled gray area between Spaceship Earth and the World Showcase Lagoon. If you're walking, if you're me and you're walking anywhere that has the big walls, even with the signs on the walls, I would not be able to tell you where to go. I have literally no sense of spatial awareness when those walls are around me, and I would not be able to tell you how to get to Nemo. I can't tell you how to get to Figment. I can't tell you how to get to the World Showcase. Something like those walls have made it so that Epcot is so disconnected. The World Showcase doesn't even feel connected to Figment, doesn't feel connected to Nemo, doesn't feel connected to Spaceship Earth. It's all so weird. And Test Track. Like Test Track might as well be Test Track and Gardens of the Galaxy and Mission Space might as well be on a completely different park. Like those are so hard to get to unless you go like down to the center. Like the only way that I know how to do that is to go down to the center of the World Showcase, like at the main entrance, walk towards Mexico, walk through the Orange Bird Cafe thing, and then I'm at Test Track. Like that's how I know how to get there. I don't know the shortcut because the walls are so confusing.
Right.
So basically, Epcot with the walls sucks, and it's hard to get. It's easy to get lost there.
Well, the walls hopefully will be coming down relatively soon and will help with that problem. But I agree with you. There are some areas around in Epcot that can be a little confusing on how to get to them as you're walking around the lagoons and the fountains and all that good stuff, especially with the walls, because you kind of lose maybe some of your sight lines that help navigate,
for sure.
right? You're looking for your North Star that you're supposed to be walking towards, and it's hard because you're getting confused. So
yeah,
absolutely. Good stuff there. All right. We are now on the about halfway through our list, right? And this is the one that I put on there because I have been to this place every time we've gone to Disney World in the past 25 years. And I still, for the life of me, get confused trying to navigate my way around this park. And that is Animal Kingdom. The entire park of Animal Kingdom I just can't, it's very hard for me to have spatial awareness. Maybe it's because of all the trees and the greenery and everything is sort of like that. But, there's Africa, there's Asia, there's Dinoland, there's Savannah, there's Rafiki's Planet Watch, there's Pandora. If not for the signs, there's no way I could find my way around that place. And even with the signs, like we were looking for Yak and Yeti restaurant. We walked right by it like two or three times.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know this restaurant is here. Where is it? And we just walked by it, right? So Animal Kingdom as a whole, we talked about one of the headlines that we read for Park Snooze was, the map, right? This is one of the parks that I have to be, I really don't have my bearings. I can't get my bearings in this park.
I can get to Pandora. For, like entrance, you just hard left, keep going left till you get to Pandora. From Pandora leads you into Africa to Asia, and then Asia, you get to Asia, once you get to like Everest, like that's where it's lost on me. Like Dinoland might as well like literally be on Mars. Like we always end up leaving Animal Kingdom through the main entrance to Dinoland, but we never walk past Dinosaur. We never walked past Triceratops Spin. We never walked past anything that Dinoland used to be. Like we never walked past any of it, but we still somehow came out the exit of Dinoland. Like how is that possible? And
nestled in the back there on your way is the Nemo show, which again, it's hidden in the back there, right?
It's a good show.
It's a good show,
it's a
but
great show.
I'm just gonna say this. Of the four parks, for me, Animal Kingdom is by far the most confusing place to navigate around. You could easily become a lost parent at Animal Kingdom if you're not keeping a close eye on the children.
Yeah, because the way I feel about Animal Kingdom is like at Magic Kingdom, you can see the castle from all points. And if you get to the castle, you get to the main hub, you can go pretty much anywhere. In Hollywood Studios, pretty much the same thing. Hollywood Studios to me is the easiest park to navigate. It literally is just a circle. I find it, unless you're in Galaxy's Edge, like I find it hard to get lost in the whole of Hollywood Studios. Epcot, with the walls, obviously it's more difficult, but once you get to World Showcase, you can get pretty much everywhere. There's a focal point, right? Like there's a focal point that can guide you wherever you might need to go. And in Animal Kingdom, it's just not like that because of all the greenery, which isn't a bad thing. It's beautiful, but it's like, actually, where am I? I have no idea.
Absolutely. We're going to leave Animal Kingdom and we're going to head to one that you put on the list. I'd like to hear your explanation for it because it's interesting you put this on the list and I want to hear your reasoning why. And that's the TTC, the Ticket and Transportation Center.
Okay. So the TTC confuses me because the different monorail lines don't make any sense to me. Like getting off of one and then going on to the other, like there are like, I don't know. To me in my head, there are so many monorail lines and I don't understand which one goes where and how you know which one to get on because it's not labeled. And then like the buses aren't that confusing, but like they can be.
We have to pay really close attention, right? You got to pay close attention to the sign because you're right. The monorails don't have on the vehicles are not labeled.
No, and like there's a sign, but it's still like really confusing to me. Like I don't know, because there's like 4 different stations, but only 2 of them are running at a time, and like one of them goes to Epcot and the Ticket Transportation Center, and one of them goes to Magic Kingdom and everywhere else. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why doesn't it go the whole circle? I don't understand.
Right.
Why doesn't it go the whole circle? And like, and just something about it, like, just does not make any sense to me.
You just get confused there. It's not laid out in a way that's, I mean, speaking of so we stayed at the Polynesian last time. Yeah. We walked to the TTC a lot, and the walk from the Polynesian to the TTC is not very far, but depending on what building you're in the Polynesian, the pathways could be confusing to get there.
Pathways are confusing at the Polynesian, but
kind of like Animal Kingdom because of all the greenery and all the trees and so.
Well, it's also because the way they want you to do it, the Polynesian, is they want you to leave your building and walk through the main door and then walk down the main road to the TTC, which is not something we were willing to do because we were like, the shortest distance between point A and point B is a straight line. And so we were like...
And there's no such thing as a straight line.
And there's no such thing as a straight line because the paths are all windy and we always end up at the bus stop. Once you get to the bus stop, you can get to the TTC.
Right.
You just bypass the main building.
Sure.
Hey, I don't know. Just
any more about the TTC?
When we took the bus from the Swan and Dolphin... That was weird. Like, I understand that it's not Disney buses, but like that would confuse me if I stayed there.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Bus system works.
Right, because anybody could drive down that lane because there was even a car that was blocking the road and the bus was like, dude, you got to move.
Yeah, literally.
These people. So, yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Going back to Epcot. And I put this on the list, and it's the Morocco Pavilion. There's a lot of things going on in the Morocco Pavilion. You got to dig into it. If you walk in, there's a lot of little alleyways and back areas that people usually don't explore a whole lot of.
Yeah.
And so if you were trying to get back there for some reason and you were looking in Morocco, you may not realize that there are these places, behind the area that you can see that maybe the location you're looking for, right? So it can be a little confusing to figure out where to go back there unless you really know and you're willing to walk in. And because one time I went and I kind of felt like I wasn't supposed to be back there because there was literally no one there. And I kept thinking, did I go to a spot where I'm not right? Did I accidentally go to a spot where I'm not supposed to be? And so, I mean, I don't say a whole lot about Morocco. I think for the most part, the World Showcase areas are all easy to navigate, but there's something about the Morocco area that, I don't know, it was a little confusing when you got back in there because, again, you're at the park, you're used to being around a whole bunch of people, and all of a sudden you're in an area and there was like no one there.
Right.
And that was very odd.
It's very weird.
And disorienting, right?
Yeah.
If when you're spending hours and hours a day surrounded by thousands and thousands of people and all that noise, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a spot where there's nobody and it's relatively quiet. That was disturbing.
Yeah, because it's like, am I in the right place? Like,
absolutely. All right, moving on.
I'm
gonna go back to Hollywood Studios.
This one makes no sense to me. This doesn't make sense to you.
This was me. Okay, we had a reservation at the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater last time. I have been to the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater multiple times, but for the life of me, walking down that commissary lane where ABC Commissary Restaurant is on the way towards the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater, that area feels, I don't know, it's sort of claustrophobic because I think the walkway is narrow, and I don't know, there's something about it because the rest of Hollywood Studios seems to be wide open. That area seems to be really narrow. And again, I know where the dine-in theater is, but again, it's one of those things where, is it here? Are we going the right way? I mean, there was a moment where I wasn't sure. I mean, am I really going in the right direction? Am I missing something?
Right.
And then it appears and we're there. That moment of like, I wasn't sure is what we're talking about here today, about this lost, confusing spaces, right? I was literally in the moment of panic going, I may be going the wrong way. Did I miss it? Shouldn't I have passed it already? And then I didn't. I think a lot of it has to do with just the difference of that walkway from the rest of the park, right? I don't know, it's just something about that space that was just confusing to me. I don't know why I just got confused in that space for some unknown reason. I think it's
because the ABC commissary is so big and then you immediately get spit out into the Sci-Fi Diner area.
Right. And you're like, okay, I mean, what's right there? Because right around the corner is Star Tours, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like Star Tours, and then you walk like towards the ABC commissary, and then there's the Sci-Fi Diner on the corner of the ABC commissary. That stretches the whole walkway. and then you can meet Minnie and Mickey in the building adjacent to it.
Right.
And the walkway isn't like wide, but it's not skinny either. It's like
just
this weird.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe nobody else has this problem. Maybe y'all were listening going,
It's definitely claustrophobic.
What's wrong with you? But I just, for some reason, I get in that space and I always question whether I'm going in the direction I need to go in. So I call it the commissary lane. I think it's what it's called. I get confused there.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Moving on.
You got 3 left, including this one.
All right.
The roads in Walt Disney World. Confusing.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And it kind of leads into the second one, the next one that we have. So I'll kind of lump them together. The roads and the entrances to the resort. So consistently, all 3 times that we've gone and stayed on property at Walt Disney World, it has routed us to the cast member entrance of the resort. And I don't know if that's just our Google problem or if it's everyone's problem, but it routes us to the cast member entrance of the resort, and we have to do a U-turn and go back and find the real entrance. And it's just not, the sign is not big enough. And like if you approach it from the wrong angle, like the Polly sign, okay, beautiful, great, love her. But it's only on the left-hand side when you enter. And so like if you are coming in from the left, you can't see it. And you don't know that, like, unless you're looking at the building and you assume this is where I'm supposed to be, you don't know, you know?
Absolutely.
So
if not for the road signs, like the big giant purple,
ones,
blue or purple sign, I think they're changing them to blue. I don't know. We would be confused on the roads. But what Mimi's referring to also is exactly what she said. Entering your resort. Multiple times we have gone trying to get in through the wrong entrance.
Right.
And usually there's a cast member there. They're very nice. They go, oh, no, you came in the wrong way. It's okay. Just go this way. And they point us in the direction. But it's like, why can't my Google map take me to the entrance I need to get to?
Especially because like the roads at the entrances are usually only like 1 lane. One lane traffic. And it's like, what the heck? Like, why is it doing this?
Well, there's a very good chance that we're just bad drivers, right? Because, I mean, other people seem to find their way to the entrance, but we routinely try to enter the resort through an entrance that is not designed for guests to enter.
Really
and it's not because we think we're special. We are special, but it's not because we think we're special. It's because we're just bad drivers.
Yeah, it's because we just don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
And the roads themselves, like from the actual official Walt Disney World gate entrance, all the highways that lead you to Epcot and the different parks, those confuse me. Like once you're like actually in the resort part, like, because the way I picture it is like there's the gate, and then there's like the main highways, the main exits that for people who are just driving their cars and then going to the parks. And then you keep going past that, you get to the resorts, which is why every time you go to a park from a resort, you're usually going in the direction of the gate because they're like those resorts are behind everything else, right? Which makes sense because you wouldn't want guests who are driving in to have to drive past all of that. Anyway.
Right.
But like those highways make literally no sense to me. The exits are weird. They're not super well labeled. The roads like more back towards the resorts are better labeled, but the like main ones kind of weird. Like just very complicated to navigate for pretty much no reason.
Right. If you're not a local and you don't drive those roads a lot, they can be quite confusing.
Yes, for sure.
You know, recently I sent you a video about a concept car that Hyundai was making for the Disney 100 celebration. Remember that video I sent you?
Yes.
Let me tell you something about that car. If there was a self-driving mode, your cars are going to be self-driving at some point, at least partly. Disney should have a thing where your car should be in Disney mode. As soon as you enter the big gate, it just takes over.
It knows where
you tell it where you want to go, and it just drives yourself there. And it automatically plays Disney music, and they say, "We got the wheel." Goofy comes on. I got the wheel now, folks. Just sit back and relax, and we'll be there in no time.
Yeah.
Right? That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Disney's self-driving mode.
Okay.
That would be really cool.
Can it just drive me to Disney?
You could. You'd say, Goofy, take me to Disney World. Oh, yeah, right away. It'd be like Runaway Railway, and you get lost.
That reminded me. We tried to use the Hey Disney thing. It was kind of weird at the Poly.
We used it a couple of times. It
did not work very well.
We didn't really give it much of a chance.
True.
We tried it a couple of times, and I think you might have said, all right, enough of that.
Well, it was like it was like a worse Alexa, and it was weird. Anyway,
that was cute. I thought it was fun. All right, we have one more on our list. I put this one on the list, and when I said it, you were like, "Oh
obvious,
yeah." Right. Tom Sawyer's Island, is a place that a lot of people don't go every single time. we don't go to Tom Sawyer's Island every single time. Your brother really likes Tom Sawyer's Island. I enjoy going over there too. Good picture place. But I always get lost on Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah.
You're in those caves. You get turned around. I mean, I've been in those caves. I'd be like, where is this thing coming out? And then I realized, well, maybe we made a wrong turn and we ended up coming out right where we went in.
Right.
And we're not supposed to do that.
It's like, how is that possible?
You can get lost in Tom Sawyer's Island. You can get confused about where you're going. And it's a great place to play hide and seek.
That's why I don't understand why there aren't more cast members actually on the island. Like, I can only imagine like how easy it would be for a little kid to get lost.
But I think all the roads lead back to the beginning, right? So, I mean, you can get lost, but you really can't get lost there. But you get the feeling that you don't know where you are on Tom Sawyer's Island.
Once you get to like, if you're in the middle of it, like I can imagine getting lost. But if you're like on the edge, on the outside, you just keep going straight and like there you are back at the beginning.
Right. But again, if you can see landmarks, it's easier to not get lost. But there are places on Tom Sawyer's Island you can't see any landmarks.
Yeah.
Right. You can't see the Haunted Mansion. You can't like see Big Thunder from where you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so, it's a great place to explore, but you can get turned around. And if somebody says, "Oh, did you find the fort? There's a fort here." I was on 30 minutes. I never found a fort. Right. But we ended up finding a fort. Right. But it's easy to miss those things because again, it's easy to get turned around on Tom Sawyer's Island. Yeah. I think that makes it charming. I think that's part of the charm of Tom Sawyer's Island.
That's part of the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get lost.
Good stuff there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our list.
10-ish places.
Right. So
it's easy to get lost at Walt Disney World.
Yeah. Pay attention. Don't be a lost parent at Disney World. Pay attention to our list. And you may have some places at Disney World that you have gotten lost in or confused at. If you want to share those with us, Mimi, how can they possibly get in touch?
So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to send us an email, disneyassembled@gmail.com, or send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok, all at Disney Assembled. But if you guys want to support the show further, the link to our TeePublic and our Patreon and our Buy Us a Dole Whip is all on our website, disneyassembled.com. Make sure to check it out.
Yeah, do that. Please check it out. Go to our YouTube channel as well. We've added quite a few new subscribers to our YouTube channel. I've been uploading a lot of shorts and some videos there. We've been uploading the podcast there recently. We're getting really close to that first 100 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, please do so. We would really, really appreciate your subscription there. And that'd be great. If you haven't checked out our TikTok yet, again, we do a lot on TikTok. That one viral TikTok, it's got like 350,000 views now. So yeah, if you haven't checked out our TikTok, if you're a TikToker, check it out. We really appreciate that. All right, Mimi, high five. Good show.
Great show.
Have fun tonight.
I will have the most fun.
I will not be going with you. Mom's going with you.
Yes. So excited.
Yeah, I know you're going to have a great time tonight. Be careful. And good stuff.
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening this week. We hope this episode brought a smile to your face, some extra magic to your day, and maybe just a pinch of pixie dust to your week. Thank you for listening. And until next time, see you real soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please collect your belongings, watch your head and step, and take small children by the hand.